Jim Moody, and I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm an attorney. I'm here representing 21 autism and vaccine safety organizations in the UK and the U.S. Today's decision is obviously a disappointment. It's a tragedy for these three doctors. Most importantly, it's the day that medicine died in England, because when a panel of non-experts 10 years later can second-guess the clinical judgments of the most expert doctors that this country has, clinical medicine will die. There'll never be any innovative treatments. More importantly, we're filing this complaint today with the GMC because 5 doctors gave false testimony, and that it so infected these proceedings that the GMC should immediately terminate the proceeding. Those are Dr. Horton, Dr. Salisbury, Dr. Pegg, Dr. Zuckerman, and lastly, Dr. Rutter, Professor Rutter. He's the leading autism expert in England. And one of the accusations in this case is that Dr. Wakefield and others failed to disclose their conflict of interest in the Lancet paper. It turns out that Dr. Rutter has published at least 4 papers from 2005 to 2009 under the modern standard governing conflicts and failed to disclose that he was an expert witness not only in UK litigation but in US litigation, a far more serious offense under the modern objective standard of disclosure. He then testified against Dr. Wakefield in this proceeding, claiming Dr. Wakefield had a duty to disclose his conflict of interest. He could not possibly have stated an honest opinion as to that fact because he does not disclose his interests in not only serving as an expert in litigation, but in publishing all these papers. Dr. Horton, editor of the Lancet, testified he was unaware of Wakefield's involvement in MMR litigation. That is absolutely false testimony. He was given a letter from Dr. Rouse 5 days after the article was published in 1998 that clearly set forth Wakefield's involvement in litigation. And Horton, rather than making a complaint at that time, actually edited out all reference to litigation in Dr. Rouse's letter and then published it in the Lancet. So it's Dr. Horton, not Dr. Wakefield, who concealed the knowledge that Wakefield was involved in litigation. He then went on to testify in 2004 he was surprised to learn for the first time of this involvement. That is a dishonorable way to shift blame and responsibility for publishing this paper from himself to Dr. Wakefield because he failed to mention that he had prior earlier knowledge of the disclosure. In 1998, that was not a conflict of interest. At the time, there were not the same kind of conflict of interest standards. It was only disclose something you'd be embarrassed at. Had Horton thought it was a conflict at the time, he would have said so in 1998, not 2004. Dr. Zuckerman, the dean at the Royal Free, testified that he was unaware of the subject of vaccines would come up with a press conference, and unaware that Wakefield, if asked, would recommend the monovalent MMR vaccines. One of the things we have in this is a letter from Dr. Zuckerman to Andy, specifically saying you must continue to recommend vaccination, and you must recommend the monovalent vaccines. So it was Zuckerman who insisted Wakefield recommend the monovalent vaccine, not Andy acting on his own. Dr. Pegg, Ethics Committee Chairman, testified that this research project was not approved by the Ethics Committee, which is obviously a very, very important requirement. It turns out that, again, the documents objectively show that the research aspects of the Lancet children, specifically the taking of additional biopsy, were approved in 1996, prior to any of the biopsies being taken. So there again, the whole fiction of this panel in saying there was unethical research conducted on these vulnerable children is absolutely completely made up and false. The research aspects were approved prior to any biopsies being done on these children. The interest of our autism organizations in this is that an attack on these doctors is in reality an attack on children, as well as an attack on innovative clinical medicine. This has delayed necessary research into the condition of bowel disease, into the condition of autism. It's scared doctors in America and in England. In fact, after the decision today, I'm quite sure that no autistic child will get proper care. In America, this month in pediatrics, the very clinical procedures they're talking about here, specifically colonoscopy, were adopted as a standard of care. Yet they're prosecuting these doctors in England for doing what is now a required standard of care in America. Vaccine safety in general, MMR specifically, is not supposed to be part of this hearing, but it really is. This is a political witch hunt, a political showdown on doctors who will be courageous enough to look at these desperately ill children, to look at what's possible connection to MMR, to say, not that there is one, but we have to have the courage to look and see if there is one. In America, we have been compensating the vaccine cost autism in our vaccine court since 1991. We've handed out $1.8 billion in awards. The highest award for MMR cost autism so far has been $5.2 million. Vaccines can cause autism. The only question is how many children are affected and what's the body count. In America, we're making significant progress toward that end. Vaccine safety in general, as everybody knows from H1N1 scare this year, public confidence is shot in vaccines. That's because the government has not taken upon itself the responsibility to ensure the public that vaccines are as safe as they can be. All of our organizations are solidly pro-vaccine, but the vaccines must be safe. If they are not safe, the public will revolt and we will lose the benefit of vaccine. That safety responsibility falls on the government, falls on industry, and not on doctors and scientists who simply have the courage to ask the question, are they safe? Until we look at the health of unvaccinated children.
Medical body believe a word you're saying? Why is there no medical or scientific support for your allegations?
Your child to stop leading after their
Who do you represent?
To make defamatory comments.
Shame on you!
Be careful, watch out for lies. Every time the MP opens his mouth, lies happen.
Until we have the courage to look at unvaccinated children to see how they are doing, we will never know if vaccines are safe or not. We'll never know how much chronic disease is being caused. We have to know this in order to make vaccines safer, or we will lose their benefit. The Institute of Medicine in America said in the 2004 report, the epidemiology does not exclude the possibility in a sensitive setting that children are subject to vaccine causes.
Evan, you asked the question and not listening to the answer. Surprise.
So that we can get all stuff on air, is it possible to get Dr. Wakefield out now?
I think that's some of the doctors are talking.
Thank you, Jim.
Copies of this are available at ageofautism.com.